Hello everyone, welcome, I think. Yep, we're live. There we go, welcome everyone, hello, and welcome back. There we go. Haven't been able to be live in a good minute, because of some stuff going on. It's made my IRL kind of schedule a little bit chaotic, so it's a little hard to stream right now, but we will stream every time I get right now. Hey Arna, how you been? Just checking in. Been doing good, Bobo. Welcome. Things are kind of chaotic right now, so streams are a bit scattered where they would normally be a schedule, but not at the moment. But everything's good though. Doing good. About to have a late night stream since I, haven't had much time to do them. So we're gonna be playing one of the Furious Wild DLC characters today, which is, I gotta find them. Which is one of these.
They will respect my power.
So one of these like wild characters. They get like wild animals and stuff in their military, like tigers and stuff, and elephants.
Inherited, they say, from the goddess of fire herself, will her people succeed where others have floundered.
So I remember correctly, I think I have to fight the other tribes, beat their commander in combat, and if I do, I'm pretty sure I confederate them. Kind of like the orcs work. From Total War Warhammer. But yeah, welcome everyone. We're going to wait a few minutes to let everyone have a chance to join up, because I do want everyone to kind of have a chance to vote on which of the four Neman tribes we're going to play.
The hand will respect me.
Because this is technically their leader. But since this is more closer to the book, he actually has to beat the others in order to become what this says right here, the King of Man. So
They will respect my power.
But yeah, once we get some join up a little bit more, we're gonna have everyone vote on who they want to do. I'll explain a little bit more about like just what units they have. We don't have to worry about all the rest of the stuff, like the character background stuff. We're not really worried about that, but we're gonna, much like Total War Warhammer, they all have very different special units. So I don't even know what this game is. This is Total War 3 Kingdoms. It's a strategy game, much like the other Total War Warhammer games that I've played on the channel, or other Total Wars, or other strategy games in general. I play a lot of them, so. Let's see. What did it see? Sharmoke is wait, Dominion? Did they all have that? No, that's just him. So, by conquering fellow Neman tribes through Confederation, Sharmoke increases his available military manpower, reducing recruitment costs. So he automatically confederates anyone he beats. Are they all like that?
The land must be guarded against those with selfish intent.
The world of men
No, it
is barely
doesn't
a
look like
footnote
it.
to King Lulu. Nature is his calling. Defending
That's the
those
elephant
who
one.
threaten such ancient orders.
The tribe must
He's
be
the
led
mix
by
of
the mighty,
kind of all three.
ready to rule.
Meng Huo shows his friends every generosity, and his enemies an
Patience is the luxury of lesser men.
Lady Ju Rong believes that only through her might, inherited, they say, from the goddess of fire herself, will her people succeed where others have
Ooh.
floundered.
So she gets an ability that eventually, if you battle enough or do enough battles, Eventually you get a bonus to all your armies. And a special stance as well. Oh, this is a Warhammer game? Well, no, it's not a Warhammer game. It's made by the people who made Total War. Warhammer is a completely different company. They have all kinds of games everywhere. But I play most of my strategy games do end up being Warhammer. But this is made from the Total War creators. Creative Assembly. CA. This is one of their older Total Wars. They have a bunch of them. Pharaoh, which is the Egypt one. Total War Egypt. Or Total War Pharaoh. That's the newest one. I don't have that one. It was okay. From what I've seen. I'm still going to get it at some point, but... This is the one that's based in China. There's one for Japan, China, old Rome and Greece type era, Vikings, medieval, and Civil War and Napoleon's era. And depending on the rumors and what happens in the future, maybe World War I will be next. We're not sure though. I'm thinking personally, I want to see what the tiger ones are like, so it might go her. If we want to go full elephants, we gotta go Mulu.
Not break without the unthinking action.
He's all about,
The world of men is barely a footnote to King Mulu. Nature is his
yeah, he's all about performing
defending
rituals.
against those who threaten such ancient orders.
But he has to conquer whole new regions to get new rituals. So you have to take both settlements in that region in order to get that. Also gets economic stuff or stuff to boost his economy faster. Fealties are gained through conquering them in factions. Each tribe starts with one and must gather the others to unite the tribes. Yeah, that's right. They have to get them. They're very orc-like in the fashion of explaining this to, like in a Warhammer fashion. They're all about fighting each other to a certain extent. They only end up fighting the outside warlords until a certain timeline. Shamok the same way. He seems to be all yeah, so he's got
Where the
axe
valleys
infantry.
converge, there too is
He's
King
missile.
Shamok,
He's better with missile
straddling the
infantry,
border between nations.
and he's got some ruling
Tumbling
fighters.
waters of the continent
So he's
is
all about
precarious as his
just
feet.
straight Namens, like actual, like normal human infantry. He's about embracing the tribe itself. Ming is all three,
Destiny calls to
because he's
those
got access to the
without
Nanzong
lust.
champions, which are like the
Among war,
capital
shows his
or
friends every
king,
generosity,
defenders of the king
and
or
his
king's
enemies
guard.
an unending merciless rage.
He's also got an early Nanzong spearman, polearm, and of course also his own elephant. And then she just gets
Those who
tigers.
wish will have their ashes blown away by the wind.
Lady Junrong believes that
Yo,
only
Deb
through her
King!
might, inherited they say from the goddess of fire.
Wow, the Total War one too. Yeah, this one's this one. This is Total War Three Kingdoms. This is the one based in China, the Chinese one. It's based on the Romance of the Three Kingdoms book. So you got all the crazy characters in here from all those. It's not technically historic compared to some of the other games that Total War does. But we're going to be playing one of the Naman tribes for fun tonight, since I can't do early streams right now, because me having to ride the bus constantly, because my van is now completely down until further notice, and I figure out a way, me and Mom figure out a way to pay for this, getting this part put in. It's crazy, so I'm kind of stuck, so I have to ride the bus routes now in order to get anywhere I gotta go for my IRL stuff I've gotta normally do. So, half the time I'm not even home now. At least until 3, 4 o'clock, maybe 5, 6 sometimes. So, streams are going to be a bit sporadic. I just want to let everyone know. The weekends shouldn't be that much unless we decide we want to go somewhere, like me and my mom go somewhere to eat or something. Or just go out for some reason. Weekends should be fine. So, when James has his weekend off this weekend, we're going to try to do our new series that we're trying to plan for Total War Warhammer with Darius and everything. But that sucks, man. I hope you get it fixed soon. I hope so too, because I can't get my PS5 fixed either until that happens. So my PS5 is also now, which is the bad news I have to bring, also indefinitely down until this van is fixed, because I can't get to the technician that can fix it. So things have turned to so I've embraced. This is the weird thing with this situation is it's caused me to kind of go just full Total War, because I play a lot of Total Wars and I own majority of them, not all of them, but majority of them. So I decided, you know what, we're just gonna go Total War crazy this weekend. Have a bunch of Total War show offs. We'll show Attila, which I'm gonna do specially with Darius. We're gonna try to alter French history and beat the English completely. We're gonna and then for Total War Warhammer, that's gonna be a weird one. Let's put it that way. I don't want to spoil that one. That's gonna be a weird one. And it is going to be a lot more PvP, because it's going to be Darius versus me and James in that one, technically. But there is an unusual stipulation in mods that are happening. So, to make it fair for not only Darius, but us as well. It'll be the funniest fight you've ever seen for that. And of course, we're also going to show off Total War Shogun this week, which is the Japanese version of this game. Nice, is Liu Bei in there? Yes, he is. I've missed that. Hold on. Where are you, bro? Wait, you're already choosable, aren't you? Yep, right there. And his two very deadly brothers, by the way, in this game. Especially this one. But yeah, this one is, they're all in here, though. And then if y'all ever want to know when I say the name Cao Cao and people don't know who I'm talking about, well.
It is my destiny.
If you ever want to know who I base my strategies on when I fight in multiplayer, well, you're looking at him.
He has seen power slip into the hands of the undeserving. And through the chaos, plots a path back to order.
Also, you want to see something funny, and this is where and it's almost weird, because in his own right you could say there's a bit of Slaanesh in there, because let's read what he's supposed to be good at, right? So he enacts devious schemes, using his wit and guile, overcome impossible odds, disrupt invading forces, and make disgruntled generals increase their opinion of you for a short period of time with a timely scheme. Schemes offer you a powerful way to manipulate the unwary and earn credibility to be used in diplomacy. Incites proxy wars. A proxy war is a war you trigger between two or other independent parties, without your direct involvement as one of the war's participants. Deceives in diplomatic negotiations. Diplomatic negotiations happen when one or both sides wish something from the other and engage in talks. However, deception can be used to offer nothing in the guise of something. Oh man. Influence diplomatic relations as well. Which this part, I think of him from Warhammer terms as a mix between what the Dark Elves are like and the Empire. So, relations between two factions are determined by their diplomatic attitude to one another. Good relations will mean higher chance for constructive deals. And he can influence this. He can actually pay credibility and just be like, hey, you like me now. Credibility does decay over time, so you have to make sure you're earning it by enacting schemes. But yeah, they're all in here though. Cao Cao is badass, but it's all about that Liu Bei. Alright, let's read him while we wait let everyone have a chance to drone out. If you want someone also in this game, he has a lot of good archers.
Chaos in the face of Dong Zhuo.
The brothers, of course, are good
And
frontliners,
until
but
the tyrant's corruption
his
is
specialty
extinct
unit is
and
actually
the Han
archers.
Dynasty restored.
Which surprised me when they did that with him in this game, but I actually like it because if you're good with these two archer types right here, because he gets Yi marksman and he gets Yi archers, so these are like better versions of regular archers. As you can see, they have better melee than normal. These archers are better at fighting, kind of like in melee in an emergency if you need them to be infantry, which is to kind of play into the fact he is technically he is a people's army, meaning he is not royalty, he is not trying to do nobility, and he's not worried about all that. He's actually trying to help the people of the realm. So a lot of his units are just people who believe in his cause that he trained. Same thing with these. These are just better stats than these. But, so his is unity. So this is their faction resource. Cohesion and unity are the seeds on which a new dynasty will grow. A new age of hope will not be built on fragile foundations. So he earns that by things you're going to see here. So increase your prestige. Prestige is required to achieve higher faction ranks, which unlocks new features. That's like it being like Emperor of China kind of thing. Like eventually you can become Emperor with any of them and alter history if you want. But he can actually earn this pretty fast. His version is he's more honest when it comes to the diplomacy department versus what kind of Cao Cao does. They're like polar opposites anyways, which turns to be something pretty big later. So he earns it by kind of trying to help the people, but also kind of earn that prestige through that, which makes him more liked by the people, which inclines him to rise in power a lot faster. So he also unlocks administrator positions and increases incomes. So a lot quicker as well. So these are just positions within the government. Administrators oversee local government and commanderies and provide certain bonuses. That's much like Warhammer, or not Warhammer. Y'all haven't got to see this fully yet. In Attila, you can assign governors to your cities. And these governors improve. Kind of, actually, you know what's a better example? Stellaris. It's like assigning a mayor to your planet, or a commander to your planet, that allows them to get bonuses of different kinds. Unity increases if generals are satisfied. So, playing into he's always among his own soldiers. That's how he met these two, and they made a sworn brother oath. So the higher satisfaction your generals have, the faster your unity up here builds. So once again, playing in, you want to be friendly to your entire faction. Outside of that, it's a little different depending on who it is. But satisfaction can be managed with unique assignments. Yeah, this is something only he gets, and I love this, because keeping your generals in this game happy is kind of a big deal. Even with people you know, if you screw something up too bad, some of your generals that are actually known in this game, so let me just give an example with Cao Cao. Let's for say some reason I screwed up with Shahudun here. He can actually betray me and become his own faction. So you want to be, so that's what his strength is. Most of his units love him if you do it right. And he gets these special assignments he can put them on that helps increase their satisfaction. So you don't have to just keep giving them ancillaries or stuff like that. It's quite crazy. And in his buildings, we'll read a little more into this. He got his Yi archers, and he gets the Shuhan tax collection. What this is meant to do is this is meant to increase the peasantry income, because it is the easiest lower tier building to build from money. But he makes it so OP with this. Plus, this allows militia replenishment of his settlements to be faster. This is a pretty big building you want in a lot of your important settlements. Especially the ones that also have a lot of farms in them. he gets unified so he can confederate other factions from the start of the campaign. And it works a little differently in this game than it does in the others. I can't remember totally how it works for him, but he can basically kind of like sway everyone and say, hey, look, this is the better choice, or we're all gonna die. Or integrate. That's another thing. He can annex and integrate Han settlements automatically. So any settlement that technically belongs to the original Han Empire from the Yellow Turban era, which is this era down here, he can automatically annex and then integrate it into his empire. Didn't Liu Bei want to unite the provinces, not conquer them? Yeah, exactly. Which is why these are all about him confederating and trying to do it the peaceful way. Now, there are a couple people you still have to attack. It's ironic because it's something you're going to see about this game when we do play our character. We're going to choose from the Naman tribes. Whoop, well, they're down here. Hold on. Because we're going to be playing one of these today for fun, the Southern tribes. But the missions in this game are really good at keeping you historically accurate. But you don't want to do too much if you're doing too good too early. And it's a weird thing to say. Like, this game is slower paced, depending on who you play, than some games. And you have to kind of get used to that. Because in most Total Wars, you really do want to push pretty hard. In this game, in some cases, in Liu's Bei's case is a big example of that. There's a whole portion of the game during this era that you're kind of like just sitting there for a little bit, doing nothing. And it's till you meet Zhuge Liang, which is your strategist. And he convinced... Oh no, Pang Tong first, I think. Yeah, it was Pang Tong first, which is your first strategist. And he convinces you to attack Shu. Because you're not Shu yet. You will be if you complete the missions. So... And then it'll turn him into Shu. He will become the new Shu dynasty. This game's pretty good at doing, kind of like simulating the book version of how this kind of plays out more than the Dynasty Warrior games do. Which those are fun too. But we're going to be doing one of these today, which is one of the southern tribes, aka the Naman tribes, with all the animals and elephants and tigers.
Where the valleys converge.
Although in this game you're allowed to play as Mulu and Shamok, which is not normally a thing. Normally it's just Ming Huo and Lady Zhurong.
Whilst others sit and wait, I will.
So, I'm going to have everyone kind of take a vote, so we're going to start with Shamok here.
Or fear me.
Where the valleys converge, there too is King Shamoka, straddling
Shamoka.
the border between nations, the tumbling waters of the confluence as precarious as his future.
So, Shamoka is the ruler of the Five Valleys. He's that... Technically, Dynasty Warriors doesn't talk about him really very much, which is weird. Because he's actually technically a king as well. Just like Ming Huo here. Which everyone knows.
All are eager to make a name in the rising madness.
So...
Where the valleys converge,
the other games don't talk about these too much, but he's technically actually pretty big in that fashion, and his is greatest rewards granted for aggression. So each tribe you bring under your rule will grant you a permanent bonus. So every time we grab one of the tribes and beat one of the tribes and bring them under our flag, we'll get some sort of permanent bonus. Other leaders will also be seeking to consolidate power for themselves, however reducing their potential gains. So be swift and reap the rewards. So you want to be faster with him attacking the other Naman tribes than the other three. He's also leader of the tribes. By subjugating other Naman tribes by making them your vassals, Shamoka improves his relationship with all Naman tribes and increases his tribute income. So he also wants to vassalize them. Because you're eventually going to unite the tribes anyways through this mechanic. which fealties are gained through conquering other Namen factions. Each tribe starts with one and must gather the others to unite the tribes. So once you beat the other tribes, you get their symbol. So if you see, each one has one of these. You have to gather all of these, and you become the leader of all the Namen tribes, and you get all 4 of these
Believes that
as commanders.
Or fear me.
where the valleys converge,
But he's also got dominion over the Namen, so he can do 2 different versions too. By conquering fellow Namen tribes through confederation, Shamoka increases his available military manpower, reducing recruitment costs. So what you're supposed to do is vassalize them first, and then you confederate them, and then this actually gives you bonuses to getting even more units quicker. And of course, he's got research political reforms faster, so he can get those confederations up quicker. He's also all about nothing but infantry, like missile and melee, versus animals. He's one of the few Namen tribes that doesn't really use animals too much. Because he starts with, he's got Might of the Valley, Axe Infantry. These are got good defense against arrows and stuff. They're very fast. He's got Wuling Slingers. Ignore terrain penalties for them, so it doesn't affect accuracy, and they're very fast. I have a feeling they're all fast. Oh, these aren't. So then he's got his main sword and shield infantry, Wuling Fighters. Large health pool and increased damage to characters. So this technically means that these actually can kill heroes. When it says that. That means this infantry is actually good at killing, like, actual commanders. So that's interesting. I mean, you don't see many infantry, like, built with that perk. Cavalry and stuff sometimes. And maybe some other types of units, but I've never seen infantry do that. And then we've got Mulu.
The viper in the grass holds a quiet power.
the world of men is barely a footnote to King Mulu. Nature is his calling, defending it against those who threaten such ancient orders.
Yeah, this one, besides Zhu Rong herself, is the most animal-oriented. So, pride and rituals, he's, King Mulu believes himself the greatest warrior of all the tribes. Defeating other tribes' champions will surely secure this belief. Yeah, so, they're all pretty much the same in that aspect. Defeat high-ranking characters to gain more pride quickly, so he gets a bonus to make this faster. Gain access to multiple animal units, as you can see, starting automatically with war elephants and southern elephants. One, I think, is slingers, and one is... I actually don't know which one's which. Can't remember what's equipped on which elephant. I think this war elephant has actual, like, equipment on his tusk. This one is just the basket. You also conquer whole regions to learn new rituals for his, the rituals he spends his pride on. Research economic reforms faster. And also he starts with Ravine Warriors, which are good at destroying shield units. Interesting. They're also expendable, so use these to defend the elephants. I vote Mulu, animal units for the win. Well, there is one other animal unit. We'll see if you still say that when we get to Lady Zhu Rong. We'll see which one you prefer. There is one more. Ming Huo's kind of a mix between all three of these, but we'll go with him first. Like, we'll look at his stats first, then we'll look at Lady Zhu Rong and see if you still want Mulu. Mulu is fun, though.
And his enemies an unending, merciless rage.
So, you'll notice he doesn't have a resource. Gains temporary bonuses from his fealties. He gains fealties from conquering the other Namen tribes, and each time a fealty is gained, powerful temporary bonuses will be unlocked for him to use. Now, that's what this is. That means him getting these is more important to him. Effects last for a number of turns and can be stacked. You see that? So this plays into this. And he has access to all the reform areas in the reform tech tree because each one has a different one. But he gets them all. Now let's look at his units. He's got Nanzhong Spearmen, just some polearm, good against mounted troops out. You know, obviously it's a polearm. Nanzhong Champions, which these are like King's Guard type things. Good against other shield units, also can because they have shields. Defends against arrows. And then he's got one type of a main elephant that he uses, but he's only got the one type, which is Nanzhong elephants, which these I think are the ones that are more melee. I think these ones charge more. Now technically you can eventually just get them for Mulu, and Mulu will give them better bonuses, so technically he's better with them. It just takes him longer to get them. Now let's go to Lady Zhurong.
Patience is the luxury of lesser men.
Lady Zhurong believes that only through her might, inherited, they say, from the goddess of fire herself, will her people succeed where others have floundered.
So, Goddess of Fire is this faction's unique mechanic. With ancestral power of the fire deity coursing through her veins. Can you tell Jedi slightly biased towards this one, and I've probably played this one before. Lady Zhurong is all but unbeatable in battle. So, we'll read her stats and we'll get to her units, which are humans and animals put together. Much like the elephants, but the humans on the back of these animals are a little bit more effective with the animal at the same time. Plus, God, it's savage when you see one of those things just to jump on somebody. But cycles of expansion. The world and nature work together in a cyclic system, as Lady Zhurong does with war. She spends much time planning, preparing, and gathering her strength before launching into battle with wildfire. During this time, she is essentially unbeatable on the battlefield. Yet once her fire has died out, she is vulnerable and must recover her strength before the cycle begins anew. So the irony in her, and this is why I like her character, at least as a commander, she actually can beat Lu Bu. I've done this as an experiment to see how this works and how much of a bonus she actually gets. It's stupid. She literally basically becomes a literal fire goddess. She don't have fire coming around her, but God, the damage she can take and dish out makes Lu Bu quake in his boots. As long as she's in this mode. Once again, if she's not in it, he will tear her to pieces. But this actually makes just her insane if we follow the cycle properly. Now, the next one. Powers of the Fire God. Through her supposed ancestral connection to the Imponus? I cannot remember how to say that word. Fire deity. Lady Zhurong gains temporary access to their power. Wildfire. When this effect is granted, all of Lady Zhurong's armies receive massive bonuses to their ability in battle. Wildfire has 5 variants, one for each season of the year. That's also cool too, because that is also something. The type of army bonuses change per season, so you kind of have to play to what's happening. It's like, alright, well, we're more tanky during this season, maybe we should kind of take a rest, And if you do that properly with Cycle of Expansion, you can kind of plan your attacks during the seasons where you get all your damage and all your just oomph to push. So, access to unique chanting fire army stance. As they march, Lady Zhurong and her warriors can constantly chant to the fire god. Zhurong and prepare themselves for coming battle. This constant state of readiness inspires morale, but causes them to consume their supplies at a faster rate. So, if you put her in this stance, her morale for her units will be real high, but you will use more supplies in enemy territory. Research military reforms faster, so, yeah. And then let's go to her units. Followers of the Flame. She's totally not basically a female Carnage. Also, hearing these names just makes me think about Spider-Man 2, the game, some more. And I'm like, I want more Spider-Man. Technically, I want more of something else. I want it to have its own game, but we're not going to talk about it. Oh, man. Or DLC, something. But either way, available. Followers of the Flame. Okay, so these things have fire clubs. They do splash attacks, and of course, because the club is on fire, it does fire damage to enemies they're hitting. And then to the main thing that she's about. Tiger Warriors. These are literally dual-wielding club warriors riding a Chinese tiger. And I want to point out how big a Chinese tiger is. It's the great... It is the most hilarious thing to watch these in combat. These don't have as much health, of course, if you want to go... If you want more tanky, of course Mulu's better, because, you know, elephants. It's hard to take down an elephant. But these units are very small. As you can see, it says small unit. I think there's only 1 or 2 elephants per squad. Where here, I think it's 6 to 8 tigers per unit. They'll do more damage overall, but they will die faster if you're not good with them. Good against shields, so these guys will rip apart shields. Kind of makes sense. It's a bloody tiger. Shield ain't gonna save you from a tiger. Has wild animals, which, yeah, gives it the bonus from riding a tiger. And then tiger slingers, because you know, it wasn't already kind of hilarious enough. Let's get some tigers that can also sit there harassing the enemy. But you know, if the enemy comes close, they're also still riding tigers. And then, of course, she's the fealty of the fire people. But, once again, that's just flavoring. That is the same for every faction when it comes to fealty. When it comes to Nemen, the Nemen tribes. This, however, is special to her. Trailblazer. Military assignment. Campaign movement range increased. Military supplies increased. And she gets oil automatically. That's to make more fire. But alright, so now that we've seen them all, what do you think, Jad? Tam King, do you still vote Mulu? Do you still want elephants? Or do you want the fire goddess and her tigers? If you want animals, these are the best choice. And if anyone else wants to kind of chime in and say if they want to see anyone else, let me know. Right now we have a vote for Mulu unless Tam King changes to Lady Juron. Now, I will say he does get other animals eventually. He is the quintessential more animals overall late game. So by mid to late game, he will have his own tigers, but they won't have the same benefits. He will also get access to... What was the other animal? Don't we get rhinos a thing? No, I don't think over here they are. Can't remember what the other one is. I'd have to actually, like, wait, does it read... King Mulu has adapted bending nature to his will. The more pride Mulu gains, the more, yeah. So, the more pride he has, the more animals he can put out there. It's a tough choice, but I'm sticking with Mulu. Got you. Thank you, YouTube, for not sending me a notification. I mean, it's late. There probably no one's at the desk. No, I'm just kidding. But welcome, Fossier. Welcome, welcome. We are voting for which Nemen tribe we're playing tonight. Shamok, which is mostly Nemen, like, tribe infantry. Tam King has voted Mulu, which is elephants and other animals. He is the animal boy. This is basically the Beastmaster. If any of you know what that is, by the way, good on you, because I'm not technically I'm only from the 90s, but I saw that show because I learned about that show because mom watched it, obviously. But but it's like, this dude's just basically Beastmaster. And it's like, so he's all about the animals here, and then of course King Ming Huo himself, elite royal Namens with one type of elephant. He doesn't get hardly any animals, at least not officially. None that'll have any good bonuses. And then of course the fire goddess herself, Lady Zhurong, with her fire infantry and tiger riders.
Lady Zhurong believes that
Yeah, elephants. Yeah, see, Farseer said elephants. Okay. Yes, elephants, Farseer. Elephants. Alright. So, we are starting here. Who are we at war with? Hold on. Who's right here?
Whilst others
Ah, so that's just a random Neman tribe that I'm at war with. So most likely, this is the region we have to take first in the very beginning. The game is really good about stuff like that, and I do love Three Kingdoms for that. Because you can tell we're down here. This tells you what you start with. Hold on, let me see, who is it? Cao Cao, or is that later on in the universe? Yeah, want to point out, look how much red there is for my boy. Liu Bei has the same ones, but that's because of a certain incident going on. Sun Jian, these are all a certain person, so these are all going to be the same. But I'd have to go to this timeline over here, like one of these, to show them what Cao Cao becomes later. But we'll deal with that in another episode. So Mulu is who we're going. So we start here. We gotta attack this immediately, and then we have to decide what is our next step after that. We'll probably only get to maybe fighting in this tonight. I don't know if we'll get past that. These are where the other main ones start. Zhurong is over here near Ming Huo. These two end up going against each other pretty early, and one gets the other pretty quickly, and vassalizes the other pretty quickly, so. And Sean Moak's way by himself, isolated way over here. Poor dude. But alright, let's do this and let's unite the tribes. Also, they all have their own unique intros.
to rule is no one's right.
Especially the factions. Because that's Ming Huo, but it's going to show more than one. It must be earned.
In the south, at the far tips of the hand's grasp, defiant tribes slip through the Empire's fingers. Their independence both drives and divides them.
That's us. Oh, he also rides an elephant. There's Lady Zhurong.
Bind them together.
There, man. I will say, those tiger riders are so good. Also, but elephants, well, they're elephants.
Strength of the will. United as one. The Nan Man would be a power to contend with the Empire.
Well, I missed something.
They will.
Well, I'll read that afterwards. Oh.
A leader must rise. Who amongst them has the strength to unite and rule? The land calls to the Nan Man. How
See, lore-wise, it's supposed to be Ming Huo.
nature of all.
Ming Huo's the one that's technically supposed to win this, but we're playing a different, alternate timeline. The Furious Wild DLC.
Chaos has come to China. That which was solid now shifts and crumbles.
Alright, let me read. That part's just the general thing going on the map. That actually does not affect us at
And
all.
those southern edges watch with great
At least not nowhere near the beginning. You won't be worrying about the Han until like after you've united the tribes, basically. At least not fully. Also, Ardnot Darius got Agincourt when he invaded England. Oh, nice! 3v1 and he lost 90% of his knights. I don't know if that was worth it, but hey, at least he won.
These Nan-Man peoples,
This will let it play.
native powers of ancient
That's for
tribes,
us.
wish only for autonomy and rise with great and determined fury against any who would threaten them. Yet even they are not immune to the politics and quarrels of internal dispute. The tribes, until now, have only known disunity. But now great warriors have risen
Yeah,
to
one.
unite them
Yeah.
as one.
Is it a win?
Chu-Rong, said to be descended from the fire goddess, vows to do what no tribal leader has found the strength to do so far. Yet Meng-Huo, another tribal king, sees himself as the ideal candidate to finally bring unity to a fragmented people. It is now the year 190 CE, and these warriors and leaders step into the fray. Above all else, one thing is clear. The tribes cannot remain fractured if they wish to survive. One leader amongst the many must bind the Nan-Man together against a common threat, or watch as they fall, one by one, to oblivion.
I mean, formalities, Farseer, formalities.
Your connection to the natural world is powerful, King Lulu. You must surely then have felt the shifting ground beneath you. The world is on the brink of calamity, and you alone offer the strength capable of stemming the madness. You must achieve many things if the land is to be saved. The tribes must be united as one and controlled. But you must first put down any who would choose instead to fight. The Jiaosi nearby are belligerent. You are a fierce warrior. It would seem provident then that you show them the folly of their ways. They will kneel.
Oh, they die.
There is also the matter of King Dosu. He is weak and unable to defend himself. Perhaps he would be better employed in your service. Beyond that, the border lords of the Han are a dangling blade, a waiting threat that if left unchecked, will surely wreak their own havoc upon the south.
That's true. That's why if you don't want to linger too long taking over the other tribes, because
Yet
eventually
his presence is a corrosion
it'll
of the
be
land.
Wu.
Once
I think
your
it'll be
strength
Wu
is secure,
and part of the
you
Han
too
coming
must
down
be
here.
confronted, and your lands consolidated. You are
Because they're not far
masters of
from us.
land
They're the
and
closest
peace,
empire
King Lulu.
out of the three kingdoms that are
Use
nearby,
both
which is
against
Sunjian.
your foes, and bind together
Well,
the
for
southern
now.
tribes like roots into the very earth.
Eventually, he's gonna die. Alright, let's read our start for this. Pride. Pride is generated by defeated characters, which means heroes. At a rate of 1 point per level for each of that character defeated. So, if it's like a level 20, it'll be worth 20 points. Something like those kind of things. Higher pride reduces the recruitment cost of animal units. And it improves the... That it didn't say. I like that. That I didn't know. Because I don't think I've played him as much as I have the others. So, higher pride also means our animals also hit harder. So it's not just the amount of them, it's also that makes them better. It also increases their unit cap. Whoa! Okay, so then that makes the elephants a bit scarier. Because with most Naman tribes, the elephants are 1 to 2. I think it's 3. I can't remember. I'll have to see. Does it say in the card? Oops. It doesn't. So, That'll be interesting to see that, because that means that the elephant units will get up actually quite large for that being an elephant unit, and you can just kind of stampede your way through. I bet you his late game is pretty hilarious. If you do it right. Pride also strengthens Mulu's rituals. Yep. Which rituals? Rituals are unlocked by conquering special settlements. These will be detailed in missions. Rituals will be performed every 4 turns and give powerful bonuses and penalties for the next several turns. 4 rituals are selected at random each time. Oh wow. Offering the choice of 1. Oh, so it's like a roll of the dice and you choose which one kind of benefits you and doesn't hurt you too bad. In total, there are 8 rituals you can find. The greater your pride, the more powerful the ritual will be. Oopsies, got it. It jumps around. So let's go. Unique units. Southern elephants. Lightly armored slingers atop powerful beasts of war. Low unit count. Powerful against buildings. Yeah, obviously. War elephants. Lightly armored archers. Oh, so one's archers, one's slingers. Gotcha. Lightly armored armored archers atop even more powerful beasts of war. Powerful against buildings again. And then the ravine warriors, medium axes. Dang it, it keeps jumping. Unite the tribes. The Namen are divided and fight one another. Unity must be earned through conquest or vassalization. Only one can lead. The choice between tradition and advancement will define how the tribe evolves. Will you stick true to the old ways or abandon them entirely? Faction court. Each Namen faction has its access to new ministerial positions that the Han do not have, giving access to a broader and more unique way of managing the faction. Namen lands. These lands have belonged to the Namen since time immemorial. They are well cared for and provide boons to those who own them. This must be very fertile land, so I bet your food's not going to be a problem for any of the tribes. You must control all the Namen lands to achieve the victory condition. Okay. Victory conditions. Between you and your allies, unite all the tribes and control all 21 Namen land counties, while controlling 50 counties overall. Maintain both of these conditions for 20 turns. Yeah, once you have them, this part comes from the Han invasion and stuff like that. King Mulu. Alright, let's X you out. So, King of the Bana Ravine. King Mulu, long have you defended with an unmatched power against those who would seek to corrupt and pollute the land. Now that strength is required more than ever to unite the tribes against the enemies within and without. The Han looms large. Whilst the tribes threaten to tear each other apart, unite them. Mulu, and let the land and beast prosper once. Let the lands and the beasts prosper once again. Conquer the target ritual regions to unlock powerful bonuses for faction. Due to your connection with the natural world, animal units cost less and are more powerful. So let's zoom out a little bit. Okay. So our first mission towards the story, the ambitious leader takes their first steps. We must take our first steps to unite the people of the South. We have feuded with our neighbors for long enough. Now is the time to strike and send a message to our enemies. Objective: destroy or vassalize the following faction: Jiaozi tribes. I'll probably destroy the first one so we can get a large enough territory in order to unite the other tribes through vassalization in different ways. It depends on who I'm going against and whether I take it for myself or not. Alright, so destroy or vassalize. Nice. Okay, so he's down here. He's defending there. He's already in the settlement, which has not much. 121 Namen warriors, light axemen, 1 unit of spears, some slingers, and then he's got just axemen. Okay. And I have an elephant armor. This thing has 12? Oh, wow. That's totally fair. That's completely fair. Holy crap. Alright. So, I'm pretty sure we could win that fight. I don't think I have to recruit. Actually, what is this? This is incomes, this is peasantry, this is the pine lumber yard. I'm gonna go ahead and spend money on that. Now, ahead of game. Just to go ahead and start working on that. While we work on capturing this. Well, let's see if this invasion matched that of the three Western Rome go through when Attila shows up. I guess let's see. I'm very interested to see how this whole series is gonna go now, but I think we need to attack the settlement. Is he outside the settlement? No, he's guarding it, so we would have to fight both of them. But I think we're good. I'm pretty sure we got way more troops than we need for this, so let's go. Close victory with medium casualties. Interesting. Okay. We could starve them out for a turn and wound them a little bit. I don't think that's worth it, though. I think, let's see what happens if I demand surrender. They will not surrender. Okay. So let's do a quick save, just because I do terrible, because I'm not used to using elephants. I'm pretty sure you just would charge them. Wait, are these the slinger ones? 100. Hold on. Is that damage? That's range. Or what's the damage? Is that damage? That's damage. So that's not bad. 21. Ha! Melee charge bonus is 349. 48k? And there's 12 of these. I wonder if that's all 12 or if that's for one. That's, oh my god, and they're siege units. That makes sense. Alright, well, let us do this. Also, I need the test to see how OBS is going to behave with this. This may have to drop to 720 for the next episode if this lags on stream. Oh, I forgot to say this. When it comes to the actual map, I do have it in Chinese to make it more authentic. But for the advisor and the person who gives us our missions, I put it in English for people to understand what the story is a little bit better. This is him talking crud to the other army. He basically said, I'm going to trample you. And less or more words in this case. He's talking about technically nature. They wound nature, leaving scars not easily mended. It is then my ire is risen. It is now. I must uncoil like the serpent in a grass. Let's go. Alright. Let's move everyone back for a second and let me use my controls here. So, I mean, obviously, this probably should be a straightforward battle. So let's just get some infantry here. Oops. It's like right there. Do I want... I like to separate my infantry in this game, because this game does squads with the way the commanders work, so let's do a squad there as well. You're gonna be with this squad. And are you on an elephant? You are, so you have to be with the elephants. Okay. Let's put you back there for now. Alright, so I need some spearmen to go with this. The elephants are going to charge with this. I want the spears to be kind of behind here. Because I want them to swoop around just in case we need to take out anything they might have. I don't know what they have. Oh, no, I guess they do. They don't have any large. So these guys can just help their infantry. Slingers. This is a pretty small army in the beginning, so we'll just keep everyone kind of tight formation here. And the war elephant time. Let's put these on this side. Look at that. Oh my god, hold on. Yeah, that's fair. That's totally fair. They're just right at the top of this thing like, alright! Get ready, boys! Let's go! Oh man, alright, let's put our commander in there with him. Oh, his elephant is way bigger. His is only 20k. So I wonder if that is per unit. I don't know. That's scary if that's 48k per model. That's a lot of HP. Alright, let's make squads. I gotta get my control in the right spot. There we go. Whoa! Ah. Alright. Lock. Whoop. Lock. Also, no skirmish mode for you. Does the elephant need to turn that off? It doesn't. Okay. Okay, let us start battle. Oh yeah, they're just chilling at the top of the hill. Alright, push forward, boys. You push this side. Unnamed tribe warriors. Oh, wrong button. Alright, we're gonna get those elephants moving. I want to charge into the side of them with them, basically. And I will say one thing that I know I keep saying this, but it keeps making me more, like, grateful for it. Having this access control has saved me since my PS5 is no longer technically playable right now. Like, I can play so many PC games so much faster. Like, I can just click a button like that and go, boop. By the way, that is also my control. It works for all of these as long as I do it or set it up right. So fantastic. Oh, they're hiding. Keep pushing, boys. They are hiding. Let's get into this village. There they are. Blast them. Charge. Actually, they're not even pushing, so just keep moving that way with that unit. Hidden enemies! Oh no! Totally didn't expect that! Charge with the elephants! 2, come from this side. Oh my god. Oh my god! That was fantastic! That wasn't broke at all! Holy crap. Holy crap. Holy crap. That was the best Cav charge I've ever done, and it wasn't even normal Cav. This is what training with Cav does to you. Especially when you're giving elephants all of a sudden. Oh, it's terrible. Those guys just... Oh, I feel kind of bad now. Who's still alive? Oh, what the hell? Hey! My slinger unit got ambushed. Elephants over here. Unit 2, fall back. Also, hero, fall back. Let's see if we can get him in a duel. Doesn't want a duel. Ah. You want to duel a guy on an elephant? Oh, he can't. That would be so broke. Want to duel a guy on an elephant? Here come the elephants! Hopefully they're not friendly fire. They're not. That's terrible. Oh! Alright, well that should be enough to get rid of him. Any troops coming back? No. So let's line up Group 1 there. I'm gonna get those slingers out of combat.
Look, the enemy run.
Yep, I bet. Yeah, I get. Yeah, that was definitely a victory. Claim victory. That was the easiest first battle ever. That charge was. Easy, easy. Easy peasy. Oh, wow. Oh, Confederate. This faction will be consumed. All their lands and family members will join your conquering faction. Ooh. Ooh, 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 ooh. So we want to Confederate because occupying kills my faction support. Yeah, because you gain fealties that they own no matter what. But he gets penalties for doing these. So we want to do this one. So this is all the fealties, by the way, in the game. It's not just the main lords. You also have to do the side tribes, too.
Satisfaction in your service. Be watchful of their relationships and their characteristics as they develop.
That was an explanation of keeping your generals happy and making sure they don't betray you. But yeah, so these are all the Neman tribes, we call it, that you gotta get the fealties of. So you can see Lady Zhurong's here. I'm in the middle because I'm playing King Mulu. Ming Huo's up here. And you can kind of tell how much of advantage you kind of have against each one by hovering over there, over these. Which, I wish there was more stuff like this in, am I stronger than Duosi? I am. That's why it wants me to take control over him. There needs to be, like, more menus kind of like this that just do more detail when you just hover over something. Kind of tells you kind of what you're going up against. So what we gained in that one is now that we have the fealty of the Jiaozi tribe, we now gain +5 prestige from fealties automatically faction-wide. We now have an increased +5 research rate faction-wide. We have a +10% income from commerce faction-wide. However, this is also something you got to keep in mind. This is why, because it scares the Han, right? Because the tribes are uniting, which is based in the lore. Every time you get one of these, you get a -5 diplomatic relations with the Han Empire. Faction-wide with all the Han factions. So this will slowly scare them as you continue to unite the tribes and grow bigger and bigger together. This game's really good for as far as staying kind of to like the Three Kingdoms book lore and doing a good job, but also letting you do your own thing with each of the factions. This is probably one of my favorite Total Wars besides Warhammer. And I'd have to say, right now, it's a tie between Attila and Shogun. So, Empire and Napoleon, those are fun. But they do kind of, after you get used to your gun units and you know which guns or which units to use and what strategies and formations to use, you eventually, even in manuals, start to kind of cheese the AI and know how to kind of ruin their existence. So, the difficulty scaling in the Civil War and Napoleon ones is a bit more which is why I like Shogun better, because overall, especially if I had the DLC, or, excuse me, the separate game now, which is Fall of the Samurai, that actually, to me, has better musket gameplay and more balanced, and lets you have to actually tactically think about it more so than the Civil War one, which is odd, just to say, but still. Plus naval battles are brilliant. Although that for me is a double-edged sword, because I actually think I like the naval battles better in Empire and Napoleon, because they're man of wars and warships that have cannons, so it looks cooler. Plus the mechanics for the warship battles and the naval battles there are in some of the Total War games. I don't think there's any in this one. I don't think there's, which wouldn't make much sense. There's not too much water in this place where we are. It's mostly landmass in China, so. But Japan has it. The Shogun one has it. Empire has it. Attila has it as well. Let's see. If this was historically accurate, the Han would conquer this region when they notice you. Well, it's still technically Romance of the Three Kingdoms, so the book. Some of these things are a part of history, some of these things are more exaggerated, but that is technically accurate. Eventually the Han do beat the tribes. That is, I can't remember how it happens, but eventually that is a thing. So mission success. The ambitious leader takes their first steps. We now have 2,000 extra gold in our treasury right now, and we have destroyed or vassalized the faction of Jiaozi tribe. Faction confederated, King Mulu and Jiaozi tribes. These two factions have become one. Deployed generals and family members have remained in this new faction, while others have left to seek their fortune elsewhere. Yeah. King Mulu confederated Jiaozi tribes. Fealty of Jiaozi. The people of Jiaozi remember the times before the Han dominance, and as such can often be found bearing stones near Ma Yuan's column. Can't speak tonight. To some a sign of security, to others a mark of misfortune. New mission issued. The Namen expand their reach. Now we have established ourselves, we should secure more lands, a firm bedrock from which our empire can burgeon and flourish. Control 4 settlements either by direct ownership or through military allies or vassalization, technically. Okay. So, where is Duosi from here? We gotta zoom out. I don't think I can see him right now. There he is. He's right here. It's marking me the important ones. This is also cool that the game does this. This kind of gives you hints to what this is going to play out like. So here for Shaiji, which is one of the Han factions. Living on the fringes of the Han himself, Shaiji looks to find opportunities to expand on his wealth wherever possible. Such a man can never be allowed to rule over your people. Yeah, so. And then, this is in the way a little bit. The tooltip's a little broken, which sucks. But basically, we have to force, this is telling you, you're going to eventually need to focus Ming Huo, because he's probably going to end up becoming your biggest opponent to uniting the tribes, unless something bad happens to him, or him and Lady Zhurong beat each other up way too much. It depends on what happens there. And then, of course, here, King Duosi. Duosi, a treacherous coward who cannot be trusted. He must be defeated when the time is right. So, technically to Mulu, he's not technically seen that way. We actually want to bring him in and try to make him happy, because he'll be a good general for us to have. And commander. Or commander, not general. So why is my pride going down? Decay, upkeep for animals. Ah, that's why. Based on the sum of the levels of the generals you defeated, yeah. So we're going to have to be pretty aggressive. So where should be our next target? We don't want to worry about him right now. We probably want to head towards Duosi. So the Anuhium tribes? Ming Huo's right there, though. Actually, maybe not. Maybe we want to go for Dong Tuna. The Dong Tuna, I forgot that was his name. I don't, that's probably said differently, and I'm not saying it right, but when I see this, I see Dong Tuna. Wait, did you say Civil War? That's Revolutionary War. Fall of the Samurai is close to Civil War or Victorian era. It is, yeah. That's why the Fall of the Samurai one is better. Well, mostly because it had better attention paid to that specific part of the game. But I think it's just ironic that that game in general is a little bit more fun with the musket system once you get them than actually the Civil War game. Like the game that's based on all the different types of things, like Civil War or the Napoleon one that's based on Napoleon. Those games, Napoleon's a little better in that aspect. It's like overall because it was a later game, but I do find it funny that Shogun 2 is still kind of the apex at the end of the day of that. The only difference is the formations aren't as good. But because there's not as many types of guns and gun units, there's not need for those formations. So it looks like he leveled up. Hold on, we gotta level up Mulu here. Up something. What's this? Oh, as Netman characters rank up, so do their titles. At rank 3 and 6, their titles are improved, which unlocks improved attributes and new abilities in battle. Whoa. When a Netman character ranks up, they can choose an attribute to improve instead of picking a skill to learn. Ooh, that's cool. That's very different. I forgot about that when I played Zhurong. That's why I think I like them. Because they're more... It's ironic because this almost feels like Warhammer. Maybe that's why I was better with her naturally when I first played her. Because this feels more like Warhammer's way of doing it. Just a little different. Okay, cool. So next they have hover over each personal goal to see the character's specific missions and bonuses they unlock. So red would be... Oh, it won't let me see it right now. It's because it's telling me. Okay, let's see. So Butcher. Unlocks requirements in battle. Personally kill enemy soldiers with this character. So he has to kill up to 900 to get to level 3 of this. For here, it's Shaman Rights. Recruit captive generals after winning battles with this character. Ooh, okay. Marshal. Win battles with this character. He's got one. Fight duels with this character. Tribal hero. As Cave Lord, construct buildings in your commandery. Okay, cool. Alright, so he's mostly... Because the Namans don't have a color, we kind of have to base it on what we think we need the most. which instinct is melee damage. When he's on a giant elephant, I feel like that's what we want. Melee and resolve, right? Resolves health, yeah. So green and red, and then probably, because it's his primary, blue. Because this is already at level 2. So, yeah. So let's get that damage up. Let's go red right out the gate. And we'll apply. Get that damage up. Okay, I need to check my other lords. It's time to see who is pissed at me and who's not. Everybody's kind of yellow right now. That's not bad. I gotta remember where I gotta go to recruit. Hold on. Or is it in here?
Your family is the base of your power. Take care of your generals by guiding their progression.
Yeah. So yeah, upgrading your generals, also family members, and you do get an heir. There is marrying off your family members to other factions as well in this game, technically. Fall of the Samurai has the best gameplay of any Total War, even has machine guns. It does. Which, well, I don't have that because I don't have the DLC, but we're gonna play regular Shogun 2 at first, but down the road, if I'm not able to get my van fixed anytime soon, by February, I'm probably gonna pick up a bunch of DLCs for a couple of games on my PC side, plus get Dark Tide on Steam, so I can play it with everybody and play it properly. We're gonna repurchase at some point, not sure when yet, Mountain Blade Bannerlord, so we can play some of the mods and stuff like that. So unassigned minstrel. This will help with his satisfaction. Li Bao, he's a part of my main army. To be fair, I probably want to do this just to make sure we don't lose him. And then they won't desire anything until rank 3, which is what he is now. That's why he wants a place in the court. Let's give him tribal council. He'll give me more he'll cost me more money, but he'll give me better trade influence, less corruption for assigning him. That will make him like me more automatically. You, sir. Well, I can't get to that from here. I have to go in here and do that. There we go. You, sir, probably need... Actually, you're pretty happy with me right now. It's plus 66 per turn. He's fine. You're happy with me. Your next turn. Are you the one we captured? You must be the guy from the other tribe, I assume. You're normal with me. I'll go ahead and give you something. Your primary is... actually not much. Cunning. Same as me. But you're riding a horse, because we don't have any other elephants. So let's give you... Ooh, enables him to fire while mounted. This makes him kind of like a Mongol type style. We'll give you... But that doesn't give him satisfaction. Now, we need something that gives satisfaction. More morale. What does authority do again? Sometimes I forget. That's satisfaction faction wide, but that's only if they're heir of the faction or faction leader. Otherwise, it's just morale for the unit, and he doesn't have a unit yet. So let's just give him this. Actually, hold on. Let me see if there's a follower. What does this follower do? Ooh, resolve authority and income from peasantry. Yes, okay. I'll have to make him an administrator of a commandery, but that's fine. we'll give him that. And then... Is it going up or down? There's no negative factors, so there's no reason for him to start hating me right now. I think we'll see what happens after he joins the faction. And my general's okay with me that's in my faction, so we're good there. Next, I need to look at
To begin with,
diplomacy.
your diplomatic dealings with other warlords will be limited. But as you grow in power, you will be taken more seriously, and more options will become open to you.
See, under a normal faction, I'd pick one of these I'm not going to fight and just try to become friends with them and see if I can draw them in somehow and confederate them. But because we're Namens and we automatically confederate and vassalize through war, it really is probably better just to attack. So we're not going to see this screen very much. And then we've got reforms, which I gotta check how we gotta do this. Technology will be locked until you unite all the tribes. These are unlocked by missions. Ooh, I receive another elephant for this. That's charge bonus. We're gonna want that because of how crazy that will be. Overpowered as hell. So let's get that. This will give me another elephant for one of my generals. Alright, that's a reform. Now I gotta look at records. I think this is all, yeah, that's just what happened. Now, treasury. Good here for now. And tribal fealties, we're good there. How do I do rituals? The rituals are automatic, right? Based on region. I don't see a button for it. So it must be something here. That maybe tells me what it does. Oh, is that it? Dense jungle. Ability dense jungle, so maybe it's that. Maybe that's our... No, because this one has it. I don't know how you tell what ritual these places give. It doesn't say if this is a ritual or not. Well, let's get rid of all these. We did all this ourselves. Alright then. And we can see armies were good. Commanderies, we're already upgrading. Known factions, good. Okay. Let's... Can you move still? I need to send you this way. Alright, let's enter him. A Victorian-era war between France and England and Spain. Yeah. We need to recruit, but I want to move up first and start moving towards Dong Tuna. Since we need King Duosi pretty quick, I feel like we should go that way first. The ritual of the stone forest has begun. Okay. Gained ritual. Okay. Gained ritual of the elephant for King Mulu faction. So this provides plus 15 satisfaction to all characters automatically when this ritual is performed. And public order. Faction wide. This one is the opposite. But the negatives are it costs more to construct stuff and it takes longer. This one is the reverse version. Oh, you gotta be careful with satisfaction. Okay, so we have to be very careful with that negative when it comes to satisfaction. We'll need to make sure everyone's in positive then. And up to a green amount, like a pretty high green amount, so we don't lose too much. This one's probably the one we want in the beginning, even if this makes it more expensive on us. Just to keep our generals happy and us moving pretty quickly. That depends on if these are the only two we can choose from or not. It is said that the Ashima, having been forbidden to marry her love, turned into stone within the stone forest. This powerful symbol attracts many pilgrims to gray walls of the forest, and the site itself contains a strange power. Cool. Alright. So you need to move here, and then we'll recruit. Oh, we're still not there. Okay. I might as well recruit now.
A newly recruited unit will report for duty immediately, but will continue to muster for some time before reaching full capacity.
That's why I want to do it now. Ooh, I can have another war elephant. Oh, that's just messed up. These are really expensive though, upkeep wise. These are like bloody like 294. But my brain's like, but they're elephants. How will we not be OP doing this? They'd have to have a buttload of spears. Also, we can recruit a ranged war elephant as well. They're technically both ranged. Which one's better? So these are the... Wait. Hold on. I gotta see what that stat is. Well, that's how fast they fire. Oh, okay. So these are better. This one is... That's why we can have two for right now. These are the stronger ones, I think, melee-wise, right? Yeah, these guys have the better charge. So we actually almost want... How would I change these? Is there a way to move this unit to his squadron and then I get this? This would be better for him. You don't? Hold on. Ah, swap unit. Well, yeah, that's gonna it's gonna hurt our income, but I'd rather do that. So swap that unit. We have to pay for that. I want him to have the better one. And then you... Let's go ahead. No, we're doing it. Let's just get another elephant. And... Probably need some more slingies. Some more slinger boys. Either that or... Actually, no. We don't have any ravine warriors. Let's get some ravine warriors. And now we'll go for... Slingy boys. So you see, now we have very little money per turn. But we're going to be pretty aggressive as the Nemans. So... And they have to build... up over time, like the game said. So yeah, they have to muster as we move forward. Wait, oh, okay. The context behind that comment was a major mod for Fall of Samurai. Oh, really? That's a mod for Fall of Samurai? Better ship combat as well as becoming... And nothing beats ironclads. Fall of the Samurai has the best gunplay of Total War. Also, Fall of the Samurai is getting better, bigger mod called Carlist Wars. Ah, so that's cool. See, I'd almost rather play that than play Empire, or at least far as the Victorian era, England versus Spain thing. That sounds really cool. Like, because Shogun 2 is such a good game with the way the mechanics work, that sounds like that'd be really dope. Or, of course, like I said, we're going to do normal Shogun 2 first, but... Alright, so we're recruiting there. This is my problem here, though. What happens when this reaches 0? And we've got to get up here quick if that's the case. And we're about to increase that upkeep even more, which is probably dangerous, but this is more of a fun first look stream anyway, so. Keep moving this way. I wonder, so is it just unlocking rituals also increases the gain of pride at the rate of 2 points per ritual known? Okay, but I'm still negative though. Blue Ball's ready for duty. So we gained the ritual, but we might not be able to do it right now. Because every Nemen tribe plays differently with that. Okay. I think we still just have to head north. There it is. So now we're not negative for the moment. Ritual of the ox. Ritual of the elephant. So we don't want to kill satisfaction right now. I say ritual of the elephant is the better. Ooh, because we've upgraded it, we actually get no penalty to construction time. Very nice. Very nice. So let's do ritual of the elephant for now.
As you gain prestige throughout China, you will be rewarded with a rank befitting your power. Your options and resources will increase in line with your authority.
Oh, here we go. We've got a new ritual. Oh, okay, wait, where does it want me to go? Hey, we're already heading the right way. Wow, that was a good guess. So the next story mission's actually at this place, which is where I was headed. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. I guessed that perfectly then. I'm getting better at knowing some of the three kingdoms and where they go. Even some of the more like side factions. So the ritual of the Yu River. The rivers are life itself, carving veins through China. There is no kingdom in the land that does not benefit from their flow. Yet their energies too can be harnessed by those who know how. You, Mulu, can channel these powers. So we have to capture Wulian, the Wulian province at Zhenki. We gain the ritual of the fish for the king. Fish for the king. Ritual of the fish. Whoa! We lose money, but if we need food during a certain time and population growth happening, wow, that's cool. So his rituals are very different. And it shows which ritual we're doing right here for 4 turns. It's now 0 change per turn. That's actually pretty good having these elephants. That means we're making neutral amount of elephants, and we have the right amount of animals right now. So let's keep moving. What? Yeah, move. What are you doing? Can we encamp? We're gonna camp on the border and let them finish recruiting, and then we'll push. Okay. Beast Tamer? Increase the rank of cavalry and animal units in this character's retinue. Oh! Oh god, it enables guerrilla deployment for retinue. That means I can guerrilla deploy, which is vanguard deployment, the elephants. And it's a less upkeep for animals as he levels this up. Interesting. Interesting. So let's end another turn, because I don't think we have anything else to do right now. We just have to keep moving towards Dong Tuna. We do need another general for him, but I don't have really the money for the upkeep. I'm hoping Dong Tuna isn't sporting anything too strong since we're bringing elephants. So Yang Fing wants a trade agreement. Where are you? That's way over here. I'm actually okay with that. We'll see if we can get him through peace. Because he's pretty far away from us. Yeah, see, he's going after the same tribe I am. I have to be fast. Shoot the Daifa. Alright. In camp. Finish the replenishment. Actually, it doesn't look like we're getting too much per turn. But I'll do it at the end of that, so he gets a little bit better. Keeps his supplies up, too. So most likely, Ming Huo's going for this one. While I go for this one. Alright. Right now, it's just going to be ending turns and moving. Plus, this gives me a dock, so I'll get some money back for my units to start to expand that way. Whoop, yep. There it is. Sun Jian is dead. So that means Sun Ce is in charge now. Sun Jian is killed by Huang Zhu at the Battle of Xiangyang. Cut down in a hail of arrows. Bye, Sun Jian. See you later. Alright, we got movement? We've got movement. Alright, now we can get into enemy territory. I'm just gonna do it. We've got enough troops as long as I'm manual, we should be fine. Yeah, he doesn't have that big a force. We should easily have this. Plus, just like last time. So actually, let me give him the order to go here.
The number of buildings you can construct in a settlement is dependent on its size.
So this is income.
Expand your
These are both
commanding
income.
capitals to make room
We're
for
making
additional
no food
buildings.
though. We need to find some place to make food. There's no way to replace these either, because we don't have any main settlements. This whole region technically belongs to him. So that's why we need to expand north. So for right now, I'm thinking we just go for peasantry income, which is going. They're both going to be the same. Garrison's also the same. Let's do this. This goes to 100. This goes, yeah, this is the exact same. It's just trying to max it out. So let's do that. Let's. Oh, we can't do both at the same time. Okay. You're going there next turn? Okay. Let's see. Also, it takes huge advantage of the train system in the battles, and units look amazing. Ooh! Napoleon III, France versus Victorian England would be an interesting campaign. Would be hell at sea. But still an interesting fight on the ground, yeah. Ooh, ensure the following building is constructed. I need a tea grower somewhere, and we get an economic breakthrough. Gotcha. Also, defeating enemy secrets. You must engage and overcome those around you if you are to understand their strategies and methods. Once you have learned their ways, decide whether to emulate or exploit. Defeat 3 armies or garrisons. Military breakthrough. Keep your enemies closer. Which that one we just did. Already. To grow our nation, we must cooperate with other powers, else our fledgling expansion will end just as soon as it began. So no 10 factions and have a treaty of non-aggression or some sort with another one. Political breakthroughs. 3 turns. So political research is faster right now. Even though we don't have any of that going right now. Which is a little bit of bummer. It'll last 3 turns, but I don't know if that'll be worth it for us because we're not going that right now. So we did get this though. I think elephant taming. A new year begins, a new opportunity to steer your people towards their destiny. There we go. So that's done now. Right? Yeah. So I have to... Okay. So I have to complete those missions to get stuff that we need. So these unlock my reforms. So we want a tea grower somewhere if we want to get an economic reform. If we want a military reform, we need to go and fight some more people. Which that's going to happen automatically. So that was going to grow pretty quickly. Don't know where the other one went. There was one more. It was building stuff. Like in general or something. I don't see it. It's probably... It's fine. We already know what it is. Alright, we're able to do it this turn. Let's do it. Issue declaration.
Your warriors prepare for battle.
And...
But there are still other options. Encircling the enemy and starving them out may be just as effective as a frontal assault.
I mean, yeah, technically. They have more spears this time. They do have more spears this time. They're a little bit smarter this time. Demand surrender? Didn't think so. Okay. Quick save and let's do this. Alright, start battle. A Victorian era total war would be amazing. It would be. That one would... That's the other one, I think, if they weren't trying to, I think, go what seems to be World War I. If they weren't trying to do that, I feel like that would be probably what they would go. Oh, we've got towers this time. This is an actual proper settlement this time. Okay. So we gotta be careful with the elephants who have less health. We definitely want 2 forces. One going in this gate, one going in this gate. So they can help each other. So we'll go with that. We'll put some elite infantry behind that. So they don't get shot up. Their slingers aren't as good. But they'll still have them, so that's fine. And then his elephants. Do I want them to go with him? See, the thing is with the elephants is they need to crash in all at once. And I need them to be defended by the healthier elephants. So I actually think we're not going to give him his elephants for this. They're going to help me. Let's go with that size. And we want that size in front of them. Then you're going with them. Towers do a lot of damage, so I'm not going to let you get shot by that. Okay. Spear boys. Oh, I can't do it that way. Because they're not next to each other. Won't let me do that for some reason. Okay. So let's do it the hard way then. I'll just put them both over here. And I'll grab them. Like that. That doesn't look really straight. There we go. Okay. And then that will be everything there. Okay. Cool, 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 cool. That. Group. 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 Lock. 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 Start battle. Ooh, yeah. So this side might be more breakable than that side. We might actually be able to run the elephants around. But I need to engage and get these infantry locked in first. So, you come this way. That's why I'm keeping the healthier elephants in front. Engage. Engage. Sure. My general will be fine. I just need to get him to get in here fast. Yeah, they're doing fine. Let me dismount you so you're not weak through the spearmen. And focus that. Yeah, the problem is I have to get over here quick or they're gonna break. The spearmen are getting in the back. That's not good. Charge. Oh, they're trying to flank. They're trying to flank. Come on. Yeah, they're gonna run. This might go a little bit more rougher than I anticipated. Alright, elephants, get out of that. Don't get stabbed. You're doing good, but I don't need you to rush into it. I need you to get over here and help this commander win his battle. Guys, all in here, come on. All elephants, come on. Now we lost another one. Come on, elephants. They're very slow at getting, it seems, around corners for some reason. Yeah, we lost all of our units. I may have to replay this because I screwed up. Towers are so overpowered in this game. That's the only thing I don't like about the Three Kingdoms game. It's my only qualm with this game. Is that the towers are way too busted. We're running out of freaking elephants here. Ah, we have no choice. Charge the spears. It's the only way we're gonna win. We may lose these elephants, but it'll be worth it if we win. They're getting chased. Okay, they're retreating. Attack that now. I need you to come help him. Luckily, we've captured the... Wait, I thought we did we capture that? Why is that not shooting? Uh-oh. I don't care if you have a disadvantage. Keep fighting. We need to break these units. Alright, fall back. Oh, damn it! One of my elephants is broken. Oh boy. Alright, we need to get to the center then. Boys, stay back. Get in there. No, y'all don't need to run. Ah, oh, dang it. Rematch. I could have won that. I screwed up by sending my infantry in too quick. Morale is also a... Even more so than Shogun and Attila, morale, there's no morale in this game. If you don't have a commander near your units, they will break pretty fast. So we'll go with the same strategy, but I'm going to do it a little bit different. We need to get Mulu in there first. Like, we need to get him around to the edge and charge it in before we start engaging, so he can come directly behind that and get his commander aura to his units. So let's try that once more. Can't get this thing to... Hold on. It's being silly right now. There you go. Okay. Now we want to set these up. My only problem is how far away this entrance is from us. But this one's not much better. I say that. Could I get to this one faster? Maybe. And we win this side and push over here. So even if this side loses, if we win here, we should win here. So maybe I want the major force right here. Maybe. I'll think about it in a second. Let's do this. Let's set up. Okay. I guess comes the problem like, alright, so do I want to charge in through here or the same route? I'm getting shot up a lot over here. I feel like this is a straighter route. I feel like we want to go from this side. Let's drive from over here. Unless I have the elephants come in on their own. I could just have them come in on their own and have him charge with his elephant with this unit, so he's helping the front. I really don't know which is better. We'll try it that way for now. Alright, let's try that again. Ah, see, they were smarter this time. This time they blocked it. Ah, but that made this unit smaller, though. So this unit's not pushing yet. We're not going to push with this unit yet. We'll push up to here at best. Wait, that's not what I want. That's what I want. Because if these guys decide to push, we can just hit them outside the settlement and trap them out there. Because that's worrisome, having to charge into that. We would hurt it pretty bad, but we're also going to get hurt a little bit. I don't know, I'm trying to think if I can break that. That means I'd kill Don Tuna pretty quick. Which means they would lose morale. Ooh. Wow, you guys are...
你苟且偷生多时矣。
任你滔滔不绝，在我听来不过是淫淫狂吠罢了。
Doesn't want to do. We're taking the chance. Yeah, because they're pushing their unit now. Now we push. Because they separated some of his units over here. Actually, they're all going that way. Hold on. If we can get in here. It just takes so long to move units around, which is why we kind of lose some of it. That's not good. We got too many fleeing in there. See that one side's breaking too fast. We might have too small of an army to separate. We might just have to force feed this. There's so much spears here though, hold on. Let's see if we can get this one into combat now. These two are at least fighting each other. I'll help him come deal with that. Some spears will stay behind because of that.
来吧，继续，我知道你能行。在吾面前，尔等应有自知之明。
Look, the enemy run!
Good. Focus the spears. We're getting kind of tore up. There's nothing left of his unit, too. It's so stupid. Alright, so I need to remember in this game, small contingents cannot separate too hard. We're doing decent, but...
Look, the enemy run!
Okay, good. Alright, big guy, I need you to come back and come over here and help this so you keep them. Okay, these two will stay with him. Try to make these spearmen break. Yep, that made a bunch of those run. Nice. Push to this. Push to this, infantry. Same thing for you. Okay, good. Now you come up this way. You come up this way. We should win it this time. It was just we suffered a lot of losses because of my underestimation of how morale works in this game. They shouldn't be fully wiped out, I don't think. I think they just ran. But elephants are MVP for sure. Even when they're at a disadvantage fighting spears, they did technically kill. I should have been more confident with them. They did technically kill those spearmen. Even if they did lose a few.
The enemy warriors are running!
Oops, didn't mean to do that. Focus that. You focus him, yeah. Focus him. There it is! Nice! Alright, now we won. That's what I wanted. Not as clean that time, but that's because I misused my units. Victorian era would be easier for them to do, but it would be much more sense for them to do it because you can experiment with all World War I mechanics and slowly build up to that era. You could, but I think they're trying to go deep into it because of so many modders have already kind of created a World War I kind of Total War. So I think the idea is they're trying to basically, you know, create this ability to this ability to expand into more modernized combat. I also think they're doing this because of the other rumor as well. I do think that, I don't know how true it is yet, but I actually think there is some talk and some actual now confirmation, at least to a, it might happen kind of thing. Like, it's more likely to happen than not, but unless it changes. But there is a 40k Total War on the horizon as well. I've wanted this for quite a while, but it's not the one that's most likely next, but we have her, like, it could be, but most likely it's the World War I one. And that would help them build up on base building and having a good, like, tactical base defensive style setup in a Total War atmosphere. Because then that way if you do that, you can easily handle the 40k stuff and just upgrade the stats. Because you basically have the framework already. Ritual of the Fish has been gained. Capture or occupy Zhengqi of Wulian. The Ritual of the Yu River has been increased, and now we get food and population growth if we need it. Faction confederated King Mulu to Dongtuna. Your power increases. You are now a chieftain. Your power is of little consequence to the world yet. You have been recognized as a contender for the leadership of all the southern Naman people. Your deeds are heard in each and every valley. Strive onwards and upwards to unite the tribes. Confederation. Fealty of Dong Tuna and gained. Dong Tuna cares greatly for his subjects, unlike other lords, who prove their might with weapons and martial strength. He can invariably be found among his people, aiding construction projects and giving alms to the needy. A man of peace, Dong Tuna abhors battle, instead seeking more diplomatic means to avoid disaster. Gain fealty, and this gives us research rate. But 15% more damage for our slingers, which means our tier 1s are actually kind of scary now. And once again, more -5 to the Han. Okay.
Administrating and ruling a faction requires a healthy and robust treasury. Collecting taxes is vital to maintaining a regular source of funds.
I am quite aware we now have a dock, which should give us more commerce income. Food is still kind of a problem if we want to make an army, but I think that's going to change once we have this, which this is why this is our biggest goal. We have to recruit some more now, though, because you can see this is slightly a problem. Like, this place has got some defenses. It doesn't seem to have a garrison, though, which is strange. The garrison is King Dawusi. So we're going to be sitting here a minute recovering all this. Because it will be an even battle. He's just, wow, he's got a lot of spears, though. My issue is he has so much spears. Ooh, he's got poison dart blow darts. That's cool. Okay. So, Mulu is leveled up again. Let's give him... Because once again, we're in full war mode right now. He's at WoW. He's also got armor piercing now because he's killed a lot. Because I keep involving
Only by
him.
becoming the one true emperor
Well, in that case
can
then.
you unify China under your banner.
In that case then. I have to win battles. So at 15, this isn't going to be for a while. But resolve his health, right? Yeah. Let's make him tankier now. That's a lot of my money, though. Hold on. I've got to see how much it's going to take to recruit one more commander to my cause.
Generals and their
Also,
regiments gain experience in battle.
I
Increasing
already know that. Thank you, advisor. You're
special
going down.
rare weapons,
Okay.
armor, and
Lack of
horses
purpose.
can be
Okay.
taken from defeated enemies, and will grant great advantages to their new owner, as well as increasing their satisfaction.
Yep. Okay. Alright. Do I have any more positions? I
A ruler who
don't.
cannot safeguard their own family shows weakness to their enemies. Families can be managed.
Oh, I have to
by
have a
political
commandery. We don't have a
rewarding
castle
loyalty
yet.
Through adoption and arranging political marriages.
Yep. The advisors, if you're not too sure how to play this game, is actually pretty good in this game. I'm just skipping a lot of it because I already know it. So it means now it's -10 factor, but it's not per turn. That's not how that works. It's just lack of purpose. So as long as he doesn't get any other negatives, he's okay. Do we have anything else we can give him now? That's pretty good. Allied commanderies, it gives him authority. Let's give him the... Oh no, he doesn't get satisfaction though. I need satisfaction. Oh no, let's give him this. This is cheaper. That gives him at least some satisfaction back up. Recently hired... Yeah, some of those are going to disappear as well. Could give you an elephant, but you're not warring. Actually, I need to get... Hold on. That's something I need to do. Let's change your mount to an elephant. He can no longer dismount, but he becomes really strong. Having 2 commanders on elephants should provide a better bonus to that front line. You, I actually do need to level up because you're my strongest person right now. You can't get any of those. Let's give you this one. You'll become like my best friend, but I'm doing that also to make your instinct go up so you do a lot of damage on that elephant. Let's also see if I can give you a better weapon. He's got 337. Oh, that's way weaker. That's not meant for him. These are on other people. Yeah, it looks like twin flint weapons are the best for something that's riding on the back of the elephant. Armor is only the 1. Okay. Good. Dong Tuna actually likes me, and when he comes into the faction, which is nice. So, recruit.
Infantry are the baseline troops of
Who's
most
got the
armies.
best stats?
They are incredibly versatile.
I'm aware. Shushy shush. So your cheerful, cunning, chance of ambushing is better. You've got better melee evasion, so you are pretty good at melee. That's Suli. Weak. Ooh. Oh, we definitely don't want you out here in ours. You're actually pretty bad. Oh, and you're maimed from battle. Whoopsies. So no. Oh, now see Dong Tuna though. Ooh, I think he needs to be in charge of his own army though. He's gonna be my second stack. Yeah, that's nice. Okay, so he's second stack. What about you, Barrow? Trade influence. Intimidating. Immune to scare. I think Suli is my best bet because he's got this skill. Vigilant. So let's give you some sort of accessory. That. For authority so you get more morale. Or I could give you a bow. Nah. Can't do any followers. Don't have any more of those. Your current axe is a 262. This, yeah, that's still not as good. Not really sure why this is so bad for most of them. It's got better armor piercing though. That is something. If you need it. But we don't need it right now. So we want Suli to be recruited. Which has 2 more infantry. Yeah, that's why Dong Tuna is going to be a commander. He's got a better starting retinue. So we'll go with Suli.
Your missile troops are best kept to the rear of the battle, out of reach of the enemy. Their long range enables them to harass from afar, but they will suffer in close combat.
Let's get... I feel like we need more of these, but we don't really have a lot of money per se, but we need to be, like, we need to overwhelm them, essentially. So I'm going to get 2 of these. We dropped to 142 per turn. So we could get... It would be very close. I do think our lacking thing is we don't have enough infantry. So let's get... That's too expensive though. Want 38. We can get 1. Let's do that. It's gonna kill our upkeep. But we're gonna be going for King Duosi as soon as this army is refreshed. Alright, we've unlocked a new reform, apparently. Ah, okay. So now we can get... Oh, we need that tea house. Hold on. It's a green, I assume. I think it's probably over here. Actually, I don't know. Warehouse. Uniform. It's not green. Unless it's a blue. So, not usually. Usually those are engineering. Yeah. House of the Devoted. Tavern. Traders Guild, Administration Hall, Market. Granary. Grand Repository. I'm actually not sure where the tea... It must be something we can automatically build. I'm assuming, because I don't see any buildings that give us that. So I guess for now, don't we have a dock? That's for Silk and Spice. We don't really have this yet. I'm gonna save that. That's more trade influence, which we don't really need much. Let's get this one and get another trade agreement so we can have a reason to get this. Alright, let's see what happens in a turn, then we're probably going to save it soon. I think we're going to wrap it up here. It's already 12:30 and I got to get up in the morning again. Like I said, it's going to be a crazy schedule for a while. Ooh, we made more money right there. Okay. We don't really need any of these right now, so I'm just going to keep with the Ritual of the Elephant. Ming Huo is confederated the other Zhangqi tribe. Nice. The Ritual of Mount Imi. The sacred mountain of Imi is one of the most spiritually charged places in all China. It is said that the mystic Zhuo Si, I know who that is, discovered the book of the concealing method here. From the mountain's peak, great energy can be harnessed. Energy that can be summoned. Our enemies will tremble at the powers that conjure forth. So it gives us the Ritual of the Tiger. This is melee damage plus 50? Holy crap. The negative is what? Way little. So you pop this if you know your ritual is about to run out and you're near an enemy that you need a boost against. This would be good against Duosi, but we won't have this for that. Yeah, that's way up here. That won't happen for a bit. That's way up there for that ritual. Let's see. Heck, they can pull a Fall of the Samurai and release a massive full. Yeah, they could. The Total War formula won't work with a 40k game. They'll do better making an RTS version of Battle Sector with a better map than trying. No, it's actually not that hard, Varseer. You gotta understand, most of the 40k mechanics are something that Total War kinda already does. At its heart. Whether it be a historical unit or a fantasy style unit. Even from the Warhammer game. The fantasy game already has it in place. Because all you would need is gun mechanics, which technically are already existing in Total War from both previous games and technically in Warhammer. Because of Ikit. Ikit technically has an automatic. So, which is a minigun. So with you, if they can pull off World War One, they can easily pull off any type of gun. They can pull off even if they wanted to do this. I don't think they will, but they could pull. They could even pull off technically later on down the road more modern gameplay. The only difference I have with modern gameplay though, which is ironic versus even 40K, because it's not a real world. I actually think it'd be harder to do a modern like today type of military total war game than it would be a 40K one. Because even in 40K, there's still a use for infantry, and there's still a use for sending people in, because 40K is constantly at war no matter what. So the use of actual manpower will always be a thing. Whereas in real life, it's become kind of a thing now where most of wars are fought with like planes and ships and just vehicles. Very little manpower ever since the last major war has really been too much of a used thing, even during Desert Storms and sadly the Iraq-Iran war. Even that still used very little manpower in consideration compared to others. So I actually think a Total War modern game would be terrible. I don't think it would be very good. But because 40K always has infantry of some sort from all factions placed, you really wouldn't have too much of an issue converting it. Especially once the World War I has succeeded. The biggest gap is World War I. Once they get over that hump and do what the modders are basically have already done, just in their own version, they should... the sky's the limits after that. So, that's why I do think the World War I one should come first. I don't think 40K should come first. I think the World War I one should happen, and then the 40K one should happen. So that way, there's some practice with a game that is only based on mostly guns and shooting things and trench warfare, attritioning type warfare. Because that's also a thing technically in 40K you would have to represent. Is on a field is what attritional warfare can look like, with guns trying to hold themselves out against some sort of horde or whatever. Which, once again, that's like people rushing a trench. So, they have to beat the World War I tactic first. Once they get that, I think we're good. So. But they'll have to use accurate tabletop numbers to get the armies large enough. You gotta understand, the armies will be bigger than what tabletop would be able to provide. A Total War game, even on my settings, these units are technically bigger than what you would have per unit on a table. Because you just wouldn't have space for what I have in these units. Because there are technically 120 in this one unit. So... That's never going to be a question. That's a silly thing to worry about when it comes to 40K, because Total War already has those numbers. They've had that number since the beginning. So, they're actually bigger than what Tabletop can provide. Even the larger battles. The only thing that, once again, that they would never be able to do, and me and Darius kind of talked about this, Titans. I don't think proper, like, giant Titans, like the Giganauts and the city-size ones. No. That will never be a thing in Total War. That's because that becomes not a size of a unit, it becomes that the model has gotten so big that really having it on the map is almost a detriment. Not only, like, it'll be too slow, it won't really be useful, most likely, in a Total War fashion. It'll get to the first fight that it'll need, because it's guns, right? Because the only other thing is you make it shoot from across the map. But then that's cheating. So it's like, they'll never do that. I don't expect to ever see that kind of thing. Like I was telling Darius, the biggest vehicle I think we'll see is knights. Like low-level knights. Like small boy knights. Like those types of things. And Bane Blades and things like that. Because the Bane Blade is still within reason still pretty freaking big. And so is the knight, but it's within reason for a Total War game. And I doubt those would even be in the Baneblade or the knight would even be in the game initially. That would probably end up being DLC. I guarantee it. But as far as base game and just army v army stuff, and normal vehicles and units for each army that aren't the big boy stuff, that would be easily done in a Total War fashion. It would be really fun, too. It'd also be really beautiful. I think that game would look so savage because of the animations and the gunfire and the explosions and the warp magic and all kinds of crap happening. It's like, that would be a pretty beautiful game. So would the World War I one as well. I think both those games, if done right, especially the World War I one should be first, will be super fantastic. But, you know. What about knight houses? I don't think they do whole houses that are just knights. I think that would be too much. Because then it's like, well, now you're just spamming. Unless they play it like this. The only way I could say you justify that is you play it kind of like these guys do. Like elephants. Like he just starts with these. So maybe make them where they get knights easier than most factions. But they can still only have a certain amount. Like when I recruit, I can only have... Oh, it won't show me right now, but for some reason. But artillery, you can only have one of these for right now, and two of these. And then have some sort of mechanic. And then have some sort of mechanic for upgrading how many you can have in your army. I think that would at least balance it back out. Then you could have whole knight houses that they specialize in having more knights than average. And then it would keep it fair. There's a lot of things that are easily done, and it would be fun. And that's why I think if they do stick with their guns and do the World War I one first, this could be the best 2 Total Wars we've seen in a long time. And they do have a lot to prove, no offense, CA right now. With the way Pharaoh ended and Pharaoh kind of felt, because they kind of saga'd that one. And maybe it was to save the money for this one. It could be that. Like, realistically, the whole reason why Pharaoh might not have been as great was maybe they were saving the main team for this one. For the one that we're talking about now. So, that could be that. And all the big boy budgets go into whatever this one is that's coming next. And why Pharaoh kind of ended up the way it was. But, who knows? But, who knows, who knows, who knows? That's cool, it's a tabletop faction. Well, hypothetically, aren't they all tabletop factions? At least the ones that have units and models. But yeah. I do think that could be some of the best Total Wars we've seen so far. But I'm going to save it here, chat. Next episode, we take King Dewusi's capital and confederate him in and make him a part of our army. Then after that, it's kind of, alright, who do we want to go after and who do we want to be friends with when it comes to, like, up here. Most likely, I'm just going to destroy Ming Huo early and confederate him in really early. Because he's going to be right next to us after we take this. So we're going to have to worry about him pretty quick. Mulu and him do end up... It's not as bad as Zhu Rong. The only reason why Zhu Rong doesn't necessarily fight him is she tends to go this way. She usually gets this guy. And sometimes Anuhan here. Anunan and Jianning. But she starts like right here somewhere. Let me see if I can see it. See, now I don't know. I forgot how I see that. There's a way to see it, right? Is it in here? No. I forgot what screen shows that, but there's a way to, like, see where they all start. I think it was only in the beginning. She's, like, somewhere on one of these two. I think she's here. It doesn't say, so... And this is why if she goes this way, she ends up fighting Ming Huo in the very beginning. which the two of them end up getting married and becoming the king and queen of Namin tribe anyways. It's just normally Ming Huo impresses her. Like, normally you have to impress her. That's actually a mechanic in one of his missions, is to impress the fire goddess and get her to join you. So, we're already doing pretty good, to be fair. We've already got one of the larger territories. Man, knowing CAA, they'll just make a Halo Wars 2 with a 40k reskin. No, I don't think they do that, because they don't really have that. They're not really known for types of games like that. That would require them to actually make a brand new engine. That's why I don't think they do that. Total War itself is actually a very versatile engine in how it works. It's just I don't think that they've ever appreciated some of the things they already had access to that they didn't really take full advantage of. Because a lot of it has been mentioned even by... Big shout out to this YouTuber if you want to check him out as well. Let me save real quick. Is Lionheart and stuff is and some of the others. But Lionheart is, even he's kind of mentioned, it's like, well, we have all these other mechanics. We already have cover mechanics and things like this. So it's like, why not use them? If they're there at your advantage. It just seems kind of a waste not to. Rise of the Warlords. And then what I'll do is I'll put... Give me a set. Oh no, that's 9. We're good. I didn't want to accidentally end my stream. We'll call it... Or this is Mulu, but we'll say Mulu Live. Mulu Live. That way I know that's for the stream. We'll think about a title for his Namin Tribe series for him next episode. I'll figure it out before then. Rise of the Warlords, good. Let's save. Let's make sure it properly saved. It did. Okay, cool. Quit the menu. Yeah, they did help make it, but I just don't know if they really would be given total access to that engine fully. I did hear that's more of Microsoft's baby now. It's not really that perfect. The unit size are too small, and it would be too bally. It would just become another Dawn of War, which is kind of at the point not what we don't want. Because if you want a true Total War game, you can't do it like that. Because then there becomes less tactics. There was no tactics in Halo Wars. It was the same thing as Dawn of War. It comes down to just mid-maxing your proper units that you're known for as a faction. Other than that, it becomes just send them all in again. It's too simplified. It would not be fun. No one would really care about it. It wouldn't stand out enough. It has to be a Total War franchise. Plus, that's kind of CA's thing anyways. When it's their own baby, they're given. That's why it's Total War Warhammer 3 and 2 and 1. It would be Total War Warhammer 40k. It would just be that. It'd be an easier title, plus... I just feel like, why not use what you already have easier and the thing that's better? Because it is the Total War engine as far as what it will provide overall to the mechanics of the game would be a lot better. The only thing I also agree with Lionheart on, I do think the building of settlements and bases needs to change. But once again, there is rumors of that happening in the World War I one. Like, they're changing how factions manage their resources, how they manage... I say settlements, but that would be bases in the World War I one. It would be how you manage your bases and flow of transport flow of that. It would be more realistic and akin towards a mixture of between what you see in Hearts of Iron mixed with a Total War in the World War One like era. That's the best example I can kind of give what it's sounding like it's gonna feel like. So, but I think it's gonna be quite brilliant. I think they're gonna have a lot of fun with it. I just hope this is my biggest qualm with any company though, in any game. Just please take your time with it. Don't rush it. Don't just try to force it out there to try to make a dime off of something you know people want. But if you don't do it right, no one's going to care, and they're just going to go back to another game that has a better version that's probably a mod. And that's a big thing that's happened a couple of times. Not in necessarily CA, but in other past, like, other franchises. It's like, make sure you take your time and make it meaty enough, no matter what choice they go with, that it doesn't just fall off the wagon. Like, don't treat it like you did Pharaoh, where it just becomes a simple saga game that no one, no offense to Pharaoh, totally fully cares about. I like Pharaoh because I like Egypt, and I will probably pick it up at some point. Don't know when. Depends on when I finally get that itch to try to play some Egyptian Total War, I guess. But the irony in this is there is another game that has a DLC that technically lets you play as Egypt. So it's like, is that really better playing Pharaoh? So it's like, I don't know. I'll have to compare the two and see which one I think would be actually more entertaining to play as. Because I'm pretty sure in Attila, one of the DLCs lets you be Egypt. So, and the Egyptian factions. So my brain goes, well, if that's a thing, why would I care about Pharaoh? So, or not, if they blindside everyone and make Medieval 3, I'm down with that too. To be fair, that is something a lot of people do want, and I'm one of them, because I didn't get to enjoy the medieval era, and that game didn't age as well as the other Total Wars as far as bugs and keeping maintained by CA. So I would love a new medieval game. I would love Medieval 3 as well. That would be just as acceptable, and I would throw my money at it just as fast as a World War I game. But that would be cool too. I'll give it that too. That would be a fun little interesting blind side. And it'd be a cool one because you know that hopefully they would actually take that seriously since it's medieval. And it's like, you know, the poster child of the original what Total War is besides Rome. They'll need to improve the CGI. They will. I'm hearing a lot of things coming down the pipe that no matter what game we get, we are getting a massive amount of improvements. Like, to both the AI and all kinds of different things. No matter what game it ends up being, they do have big plans for whatever this Total War is, no matter whichever one it ends up being. So, I expect quite an interesting surprise, whatever it may be, when it does show itself. But yeah, I guess we'll end it here for now, and I'll kind of leave it as remind everyone, give my announcement again to let everyone know. Console's not going to be back for a minute. It's probably going to be, if I'm lucky, late February, if we can get the van, somehow figure out a way to get this part put in the van and get the part again, because we ordered it. But the lady who ordered it put it on the wrong month, even though now it seems like we should have just kept it so we would have had the part. But hindsight's 2020. But the person who was supposed to put it in fell through on us, and I guess decided just not to help us anymore, I guess. I don't know. I'm not going to say too much towards that. I don't know what the situation is. Either way, it's kind of, excuse my language, screwed me and my mom and our situation and me being disabled and my living situation. So it's bus bound me completely. So this means I can't get to my technician who repairs my PS5. So that's permanently down as long as the van is. So how long ever the van takes is how long it's sadly going to take to get that PS5 back. So we're going to be doing a lot of Total War. A lot of this, Three Kingdoms, some more Warhammer with James and Darius. Gonna show Shogun 2 at some point the next couple of days. I'm gonna do Attila, French alternate history with Darius and just me. Unless James ends up wanting to play Attila by then and wants to join in on that. And I'm also going to be showing... At some point, I am going to show Empire. We are going to play some Empire as well. The one that's basically kind of Civil War slash, like... British invasion of the colonies. Took me a second to remember some things. But we'll try that out as well. And next month, depending on my budget and what we actually are able to get done, I'm going to be upgrading some of my Total Wars, like Shogun. I'm going to be getting the Fall of the Samurai version. And I'll see if there's any other DLCs or things like Attila's, because Attila I have no DLC for. That'll have to happen over time. I'll just pick and choose which ones I want first. But, as far as vanilla Attila is concerned, modded doesn't really affect too much, so... and then whatever else we end up doing. Well, oh, and Dark Tide coming back, and then at some point, Bannerlord, but modded. Just not sure which one yet. There's two of them in my brain. I think the better one is the Japanese one we're going to be doing, because it's more finished and actually has like everything already done. It's basically the entire Japanese islands as the map, and all the Japanese clans. Plus you get to use actual Japanese weapons, and the animations are slightly changed to make it look more like Japanese sword fighting. So that'll probably be what we do for Bannerlord when that comes back. I think that's all I'll really say for now, because I don't really... everything else is kind of up in the wind, so... we'll figure out the rest as we go forward. Also, did you hear all the stuff they're adding to Shadows of Change? Also, I got one thing to say about the modern TW. It can work, but the battles will have to be broken arrows. True. I'll give you that. If they tried to follow Broken Arrow's formula, but then wouldn't it just be Broken Arrow? That's also something a company has to be careful of, too. Being careful of their feeling of their formula, how they do it, because then if it's too samey as another game, most people might just play that game because it already existed or they already preferred it. It's a pretty rickety bridge to walk out onto. That's why the modern era strategy games are hard to do, because there's also so many people who've done the ones that are successful. It was hard to follow those formulas. They were really good. Call to Arms did a good version. Broken Arrow's now the best version, but is like there were also others that were before that. So, plus there's that Resistance game. I forget what it's called, but that's more like Bannerlord than anything. But still, you gotta be careful when you're kind of copying a formula, not necessarily stealing it. You're just using it as inspiration. Because if it doesn't have enough oomph to be too different enough, then it might not catch on. That's why I also think World War I is better. 40K and World War I are the best choice for one reason only, even if it's hard to do it. There's not that many games for either of them anymore. There's hardly any World War I games in general. Like, there's a couple new ones, but even then they're pretty simplified. There ain't too many that are actual... and I do mean actual World War I simulations, other than mods. We're not counting mods. We're counting real games. There's mods out there for other games that I mentioned earlier that were military-style modern games that have mods to do that. But real, actual games that exist that aren't modded, not that many. So it's a good market to jump into as far as the next Total War if you're gonna go that route. Is both World War One and 40K. I think World War One once again still overall is the better choice, even in marketing, because there are other 40K games even if they're not Total War, but there are hardly any World War One games. So I think the World War One one's probably going to be our best bet. If they don't blindside, like Farseer said, with some craziness like Medieval 3 all of a sudden. It's like, hey guys! It's like, but you know. Infantry is surprisingly still important in wars. Also, artillery, air is not war winners. When the enemy has extremely robust AA and SAMs, like a certain war in the Eastern Europe provided. True, but even then, most things are drones and still air though now. You will see very little proper invasions. So, yeah, military is important, but I can tell you right now, if you were to look at the, even, like I said, the Iraq-Iran war in real life, and you compare that to the manpower used during previous, like, Cold Wars and things like that, nowhere near. Now, the Ukraine thing that's going on, that's a little different, but that's a forced necessity out of, that was a place that got caught in the crossfire of something that was sad. That's all I'll put it. But that's different. That's a people just trying to fight against a thing that kind of got forced upon them in a certain way, so. But that's the only reason why the manpower in there is having to be so high, because, well, the people who live there are the manpower. So, but that, I sadly can't count that, because that's not, that shouldn't have even, if you really want my opinion, should have totally happened the way it did. But I don't want to get into any of those type of discussions. This isn't that type of channel. But still, I would still say as modern war compared to previous wars, everything's become drones, AI, missiles, just things that don't require men whatsoever. So this as far as a video game is concerned, real life it makes sense why you go in that direction, because less people, at least as far as deployment is concerned, get caught in the crossfire. Once again, other than certain examples. But in a video game, that is pretty boring. in a video game standpoint, just lobbing random missiles constantly and this and that, that's pretty boring. So, modern combat is a difficult beast to make fun in a video game because of this reason. But, wait, I just got an idea. Have management, wait. Something management, hold on. Oh, HQ. No, HO14 management, or that might have been. That might have been a mistype. With broken arrow style combat for Total War for Hammer. Okay. That might work. I think I know what you're talking about as far as mechanics. Hearts of Iron. That's whatever you were trying to say. Yeah. That's probably what they would go for. Because you'd have tons of logistics. It would be pretty complicated, but to be fair, they would probably have to be. Especially how you would handle recruiting maybe like knights and stuff like we talked about before. This is just an example. Or if you're orcs, gargants. Small ones, not the big boys. Or whatever the small one's called. I can't remember if it's gargant or stompa. I think the stompa's the bigger one. Either way, as an example, that would be a good way to do that. I will say a Hearts of Iron type style of resource management, which is supposedly not totally like that. Supposedly, from what I've heard, is kind of what might be what they're going for. Not necessarily that exactly, but a representation Total War-wise probably of something similar. I do think that might actually be closer than we think to what might actually be what the resource management change might be. I don't know. Because even in World War I, you could still get away with that system. So like I said, whatever system we see in this, I guarantee you is what they'll make a pseudo version of for 40K. Just might not be the exact same, just like they do with all their stuff they do from previous Total Wars. Oh, didn't mean to do that. See what Daria said right there. The Guard need a lot of tanks. They do. Especially with their playstyle. They would be very much a vehicle-heavy faction. But it'd be fun. Like I said, I think that would be a very fun... Even the World War I one would be a very fun concept. And a very fun game to have. So I hope they go in one of those directions. But I will not complain if all of a sudden Medieval 3 happened. So... But alright, chat. I think we'll wrap it up here for tonight for our stream of Total War 3 Kingdoms. We've gotten a decent little episode for this being so late. I do got to wrap this up so I can go check in if we're going to sleep and laying down now. Because I got to get up at around 8 something, 9 something in the morning. Get ready and then head to the bus stop and sit there and wait for the bus. And it's cold as hell right now. Not as cold as where it is for Darius and Farseer. But good. I am not envying having to do this. It's fun, I'll admit. It's at least helped me in some ways kind of understand kind of traveling routes. And maybe this has opened up at least something when the van is fixed. That if I need to go out on my own and if I ever want to just go to like... get a drink or something, or go to like a bar and chill for a little bit, at least for like a couple hours. I wouldn't be able to stay late because bus routes stop around 6, 7. The last bus goes around its routes for each color around like 6 or 7 o'clock, something like that. So I'd only be able to like midday chill, but it would be something to be able to like go chill and get out of the house more for me to be able to kind of like just get away from my own brain sometimes, too. Getting stuck in here for too long really drives me mad. I have an idea for knights. Give all the Imperium factions a standard knight, while the knight houses get all the variants besides the one the size of a warhound. Yeah, maybe. Okay, I can see that. Yeah, okay. As far as and it'd also be safer for Total War and model-wise. That means they wouldn't have to make as many models. Because that's another thing they're going to have to consider with 40k. They're going to need to pick and choose certain things that they kind of generalize and certain things that they'll specialize. Just like they do in this game. Like, there's standard Chinese, like, military units. But then there's the special military units that each faction get. And even more so when you talk about the Neman tribes, and they're completely being different military-wise versus the Han. So, that's an example in here. So that is a good idea. That is a pretty good idea. But anyways, everyone, I hope you all enjoyed watching our first episode of the Great King Mulu as he unites the Naman tribes together to face the Han. I can't wait to do more of this. I'm actually very excited about this series. I haven't played Three Kingdoms fully this hard in a while, and I'm very much back into it. I've been playing the Yellow Turban to train, because they have a very hard campaign. They're at war with the Han in the very beginning of the game, and it's basically the whole map. It's pretty terrible. You have to lock down your borders really fast. But yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed the stream. Farseer said, well, bye Ardnot, I'll be watching the temperature reach 4 outside. See, I would hate it even worse if it had to be that temperature and me going to that bus stop in the morning. Because it's going to be 20... This is going to sound hot compared to what you just said, but it's going to be 22 degrees in the morning when I have to go to that bus stop. Almost froze today sitting there waiting for it. It was terrible. My ears were actually starting to hurt. I had to fully cover them up with, like, my blanket and my jacket. Like, I had to cover up my head fully, like, and sit there. I was like, jeez, this bus is taking forever. Because you also have to take the risk of the bus maybe running late when you're on a bus route, so I have to compensate for that stuff, too. It was 8 degrees this morning. That's terrible. That's one thing I do like about the more southern states. At least it don't get that cold. Although Georgia sometimes gets that cold. I've never seen North Carolina get that cold, which is weird. At least not fully. But Georgia, they used to get to those temperatures sometimes. Like 12, 10s, and down sometimes. But it's a more southern state, which makes that weird. Maybe it's just because she's in the center. Because she gets a lot of climate from other states. I don't really know how that works, to be fair. But. And the roads were frozen. So at least Georgia salts the roads. I will say that is the difference between North Carolina and Georgia. They do salt their roads. They don't salt all the side ones sometimes. But all the main roads and the basically, especially the bus route roads, are always salted and kept safe if they know they're going to be keeping things open that day. Or during that storm. If they're going to be shutting things down completely, then they won't bother. But that depends on the storm. They didn't salt the hills. See, that's dumb. That's something I think that's required here. At least especially on something there's going to be a lot of traffic going up and down. They do have to do that. Well, at least here. Not there necessarily, apparently. But... But that's just the nature of the beast of nature is what I meant to say. But alright, chat, I'll get off here. I hope you enjoyed. You have a good night, Farseer / good morning because of how late it is. It's actually midnight for you now too. So it's next day. But I hope y'all have a good morning. Big shout out to you as well, Darius, for joining in the background on the Steam chat. And I hope y'all enjoyed watching the stream of our beginning of the King Mulu playthrough of Total War 3 Kingdoms. Go to sleep, Farseer, is what Darius said. But I hope y'all enjoyed it. Let's see, it was a slow-moving line of cars on a hill. Yet they still ran into each other, I bet. Now, here that would have happened. But anyway. Peace and love, y'all. Have a good night. Y'all get some sleep. And I will see you all tomorrow. If Darius is if you want to join in for this tomorrow, we'll do this tomorrow. If not, I'll do Shogun tomorrow. So depending on what happens tomorrow, we're either going to do Shogun 2 or we're going to start the French alternate history with Darius tomorrow in the modded Attila. But we'll see which one ends up happening. But I hope y'all enjoyed, and I hope you have a good night or good morning, wherever you may be. And I will see you all in the next one. Bye, everyone! Bye, Farseer! Bye, everyone! Bye!